All right, joining me right now on the telecast is Tehseen Poonawalla. Tehseen, I'm just trying, it's just putting in an effort to understand what is the largest strategy that the Congress is playing at over here. Because it looks like it has had to backtrack at every step of the way when it has attacked its own member of parliament, a party veteran, the like of Shashi Tharoor, with such a distinguished career, who is speaking as a representative of India, going out to United States of America and Panama and Guyana and talking about India's calibrated stance on terrorism that has been inflicted by Pakistan on it again and again, whether we talk about Pulwama, Uri, or for that matter, the Pahalgam attack.
Thank you so much for having me on the show. Good evening to you and to all the viewers of NewsX. There are two essential issues that we have to understand. When you represent Ma Bharti on an international stage, you don't represent Ma Bharti as a congressman or a BJP leader, as a Maharashtrian or a Keralite or as a Delhi citizen. You represent India and a tricolor. Therefore, you speak for India. And I think that is what this delegation is trying to do. And I think it is pertinent for the viewers of NewsX to understand that it is extremely important that we have a delegation that talks to various nations, simply because, and you will agree with me here, while India is decades ahead of Pakistan in, say, economic warfare, military warfare, cyber superiority, the one place where Pakistan scores massively over India and is 2 decades ahead is misinformation and propaganda. You see, what's happened is everybody's talking about an India-Pakistan conflict. And I agree. But what started this conflict? What started this conflict was Pahalgam, where our fellow citizens, 26 Indians, were murdered on the basis of name, religion. They were asked to recite the kalma, their pants and their IDs were checked. And I think it is appropriate that India puts up this terror aspect and the terrorism that Asim Munir spread with his hate speech, bigoted speech, to the world and put that across.
So then, why does the likes of Udit Raj, Jairam Ramesh, it was confounding for me to understand what exactly is the man trying to convey when he goes about saying that these terrorists, the Pahalgam terrorists, they are running helter-skelter, I don't know, they have not been accounted for, and he is then compared it to our members of parliament. The all-party parliamentary delegations that have travelled to 33 countries are right now being compared to the terrorists. I mean, what is the agenda? What is it that he's trying to convey? Is he being misunderstood over here?
Look, I understand why this all-party delegation required to go and put across India's point of view. And I think it is again important for every single Indian and for human beings to know, for the world to know, that India is actually doing humanity a service by striking those terror camps in Pakistan. If we don't send those terrorists to the 72 Hoors, if we don't send them there, these terrorists today who are attacking India, who attack Indians on the basis of name and religion, tomorrow will attack Europe, and the day is not far, they will attack America. You will remember, in 9/11, it took 11 of these terrorists to get the United States of America, a unipolar world superpower, down to its knees. 11 men got them down to its knees. India is doing humanity a favor, and it is important, with no ambiguity, this message we put across. So I think all support to these people across party lines should be given. There are pertinent questions that the honorable leader of opposition does have with the government, and the government needs to answer that. I'm not going away from that. And therefore, as a layman, my suggestion is, and you may feel free to add in here, for example, hypothetically, if I was LOP, what I would do, I would ask the NSA to come and brief me. You could ask the Air Force Chief to come and brief you, because we're a democracy. The LOP has an absolute, and the opposition has an absolute right to know. You can have these briefings privately. The idea to call a special session of parliament is not a bad one. We could have that, or we could have these discussions in the Parliamentary Committee of Defence. So those are my suggestions to the opposition. But in what Dr. Tharoor and the rest of the committees are doing, I think is a stellar job. I'm again repeating. We are doing the world a favor by eliminating these terrorists and sending them to the 72 Hoors. We're doing the world and humanity a favor.
So, what is irking the Congress leadership? Is it because it's Shashi Tharoor who's gaining all the limelight as a Congress leader, as a leader of the country who's representing India and traveling to all these countries, to United States and other places? Is that what is irking the Congress, that such statements, the likes of he is the voice, the super spokesperson of the BJP, such kind of commentary is coming up from the Congress leaders, and there is no the top leadership is not even stopping the likes of Udit Raj to the commentary that he makes.
So I don't know about individuals, but I'll tell you something. When you, like I said, when you represent Mahabharata, you're not a congressman or a BJP leader. You're not from any state. You're just an Indian representing the tricolor. Various governments, starting from Pandit Nehru ji, Indira ji broke Pakistan into two. We've tried various approaches. Rajiv ji had a number of deals with Pakistan. Vajpayee ji did the summits with Pakistan, invited President Musharraf, Army Chief Musharraf to India. Then we had Kargil where we taught them a lesson. Manmohan Singh ji isolated them. We had several strikes when Manmohan Singh ji was Prime Minister, and then we've had Modi ji who's tried all approaches with them. We've had diplomatic outreach via SARC and other, when they were invited for Modi ji swearing in. We've had done Uri, we've done Balakot, which in my opinion was fantastic because we actually struck their terror bases. We entered Pak airspace. And now what we did on May 6th, May 7th was phenomenal. To your questioners, who's taking the limelight, can I just add one thing here? Nobody except our Air Force. If you permit me 30 seconds. What happened on the night of May 6th, May 7th is unprecedented in the history of modern Air Force warfare. I mean, two of our best pilots versus their best pilots, our best technology versus Chinese technology. We got 24 missiles, all 24 hit the target. We destroyed the 9 targets we set out to do, and we did this without ceding, without suppression of the enemy air defense system. The next day we got the Lahore air defense system down, and we hit deep into Pakistan, rattling them. Ultimately, 3:30 on May 10th, DGMO Pakistan had to beg like a cockroach of DGMO India for peace. I'm telling you, the only limelight here is our armed forces, particularly our Air Force. Those BrahMos on those Sukhois stuck deep inside Pakistan. I think those are the only limelights. We got Pakistan crawling. I think that's the only limelight. But I'm again saying, this is not an India-Pakistan conflict. If you ask me as an Indian and as an opposition, I want to ignore Pakistan. I don't think Pakistan's important, except that they are perpetrating terror in my country. And they've reached a point where they're checking people's IDs, they're making people recite the kalma, and they're checking people's pants and killing them. If we don't end this now, I am repeating, this terror will spread to Europe, and then it will spread to the United States of America. We are doing the world a service by putting these rats down.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Tehseen, for giving me your point of view. I'm also going to get in